This is the plaintiff, Vicki Allen. She says she bought a Volkswagen Bug from the defendant, her cousin, and she thought she could trust him. Boy, was she mistaken. The guy sold her a car with a million problems. It wouldn't pass inspection, and she's had to sink $2,500 into the thing. And that's just what she's suing her dear cousin for today. This is the defendant, Alan Edwards. He says he went above and beyond to help the plaintiff out. First, he sold her the car for half price, did work on it for free, and she was as happy as could be. Now, she's doing an about-face and suing him for everything she's put into it since. The saddest part is, this car has broken them up. They don't speak anymore, and a car shouldn't be able to come between them the way it did. He's accused of copping out on a cousin.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff bought a Volkswagen Bug from the defendant and says it was riddled with problems, but the defendant says he bent over backwards to please her. It's the case of Don't Bug Me.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay. Ms. Allen, you are suing your former very good friend, Mr. Edwards, for $2,500 that you say you are into a car that he sold you and you want him to repay you, not just the purchase price of the car, but everything you've put into fixing the car. Okay, what's going on?
Okay, back in June 2013, Alan said he had a car for sale. It's a little Volkswagen.
How do you two know each other?
We're cousins through marriage.
Okay.
So, but we just found that out recently, so.
You just found that out recently? You were actual friends beforehand?
Yeah.
Okay, how long have you known each other?
Oh, 6, 7 years.
Okay.
But anyway, he said he had this little Volkswagen for sale. I needed a car because I needed to get back and forth to work. In California, it's gas guzzlers, and so I needed. So he said it was only cosmetic damages to it.
Only cosmetic damages, okay.
Right.
What year car was this?
2000 Volkswagen Beetle.
Okay. And did you take it to a mechanic to look at it to see if you should buy it before you bought it?
No.
No. And then, so what happened here?
Okay, so I looked at it. It looked like it was cosmetic. Alan works on cars anyway. He said he could fix it up and it wouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
So I told him, he came over, we talked about the price. I said, I don't want to spend no more than $1,800 for this car. I just don't have the money. He says, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. You're going to be real happy.
Wait, so what were you paying for the car?
$1,800 with parts and everything included.
With what repairs? What repairs?
For the, okay, he said the front right fender, the bumper, and the hood and a headlight with 2 airbags. There's a driver's side airbag and a... 2 airbags. Right.
So for $1,800, you were going to get the car, and he was going to fix all these things you just said?
Yes.
All right. And then what happened?
Then, well, I gave him some money. I gave him $800 initially to go and get the car, bring it over or whatever, and just so that
he would get the car? Isn't it a car?
Well, he had the car, just so he would have some money to get started.
Okay.
Okay, that's why I gave him that. Okay, so then he brought the car to my yard, and we started ordering parts. He was looking for parts at different places, and I started looking for parts because I was finding them cheaper. So he started putting parts on.
Okay,
and then
which of the parts that you just listed did you end up paying for?
Everything except for the hood.
May I see the receipts for what you paid for those things?
These are not the actual receipts. These are the checks that I had cashed and gave to Alan to pay for the stuff.
Oh.
Because he was going to get the parts. I mean, I was paying him to get the parts.
Okay, you're giving him the money in order to get the parts.
Right.
But that's counting towards the $1,800.
Right.
Okay, may I see that?
Okay.
Because I have to go step by step because you guys are like crazy. This is not how car deals go. There's a piece of paper that says, I'm selling you the car for $1,000. You give $1,000, the car's gone. That's how it works. Or $20,000. You sign the document, you buy the car's gone. That's it, clean. But you have this like hairy little deal where he's gonna fix this and it should cost that, and you know. All right. Okay, so here's the $800, and then there's a check for $500, a check for $300, and a check for $120. which is $1,720. And all those things are money that you gave him towards buying the things that you say were included in the $1,800? The front right fender, the bumper, the hood, or are these for other repairs?
There ended up being more repairs that had to be done too.
Why are those on him and not on you when you're buying a used car? I mean, the only thing that would be on him would be the things you agreed upon before the purchase price was settled upon. So what happened here? This is all the money you've paid for the car.
I've got some more.
Give me everything that you paid him for the car.
Okay.
Or are you going to give me things you paid other people?
Okay, I paid other people, and this I paid for the airbags. So
The premise of your lawsuit is that he guaranteed to you that you wouldn't have to pay more than X in repairs in your life on the used car?
No, just to get it running and for me to get it registered and put it in my name and drive it. And I wasn't able to do that because other things had to be done. So the seller
of this car guaranteed to you how much you'd spend to get the car that you're buying when it's not drivable? Or was the car drivable when you sold it to her?
It was drivable.
Okay. All right. And you're suing him because you had to pay more than that.
What I actually did was spent $2,500 on this car to get these parts and things, to get it running, take it to the smog, get it registered in my name, and drive the car. It's my vehicle.
Why does the guy have to pay for your registration?
He doesn't have to pay for the registration. I'm just saying that's part of me getting the car and getting it running. He doesn't have to pay for that.
Okay, what did he do wrong? What are you suing him for, Ms. Allen?
What he did wrong was he didn't come back and complete the job. I had to get somebody else to come back and finish putting the hood on and the lights on and the bumper. I had to finish doing that with somebody else. That was the other.
How much did you pay that somebody else?
$450.
Okay, so other than the money you've paid him, the only other money you've paid is the $450.
Right.
Did she ever, this is a good friend of yours, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, you guys would socialize together a great deal.
Yes, ma'am.
Once a week, you'd go watch football at her house. Or she'd go watch football at yours. Which was it?
Go to her house.
Okay. Are you watching football at her house?
No more.
No more. All right. So what are we going to do here? You are saying what?
I have to do what she wants, I guess.
No, she don't have to do what she wants. Did you agree to sell her a car where she wouldn't spend more than a certain amount on repairs?
We
a
talked
12-year-old
about it.
used car? What was the deal you guys struck? That's what I really want to know. You're under oath, and I want to know the deal you guys struck.
To get the car going and don't exceed $1,800.
So you actually did strike a deal where you guaranteed her you're going to get a car going and not exceed $1,800.
Yeah, because I knew it wasn't going to cost that much.
Right. So how much did you put into it? Because according to you, she gave you $800, and then the other $1,000, or it's just shy of $1,000 that came to you in checks and parts and stuff. The labor was going to be free. I don't understand.
Well, the labor, I told her I'd fix the car, and she said whatever was left over that she
What qualifies you to fix the car, by the way?
Because that's what I do.
That is what, you're a mechanic. Okay, so go on.
And it added up more than I thought it would, I guess. It just added up to more.
You didn't see that coming?
No.
Okay. So is all of that money that got used up, almost $1,000, was all on parts, or part of that was labor too?
She bought the parts, and no, it wasn't.
Were you charging for labor?
I didn't get the labor.
The labor wasn't going to go into the math to come up to the $1,000?
No.
Okay.
The labor would have came inside at $1,800. If I would have got the job done cheaper than $1,800, then we would have worked out a little.
Okay, so she ends up spending $1,720 in checks written to cash. The checks that you gave me are all checks that went to him, right?
Right.
Then I need proof from you that you paid another mechanic money, and what you gave me was an affidavit from your daughter saying she saw you do it?
Actually, it was my son.
Stop! I don't care if it's your son, your daughter, or your boyfriend. I don't squash that, but that's like part. Do you understand how hairy this is?
Okay, now, so would you buy a 13-year-old Volkswagen Bug with cosmetic damage, period?
No, I wouldn't. But if I were to buy one, I would definitely get it checked out by the mechanic and see if everything's working.
Even if you checked it out with a mechanic, would you feel good about a 13-year-old Bug that has a lot of damage in the front, and obvious damage?
Well, actually, I'm shopping for a car right now, and I probably wouldn't do that. It's just a little bit.
Oh, what are you looking for? Just curious.
Just an economical car, sedan, midsize.
Maserati.
Yeah, exactly, Maserati.
Going inside the courtroom.
You guys let this decade-long, lovely football Sunday watching friendship go into a toilet by going into this crazy, unenforceable, nutty, like every time something new was wrong with the car, then that's falling under it, and then that's falling under, and then this other thing's falling under it, and then, I could try to unravel this case if you were to give me proof that you went to a mechanic and paid a mechanic $200 more than the $1,800 you thought you'd spend, then that would be your measure of damages. Because he kind of admits it, but you can't even do that much. All you can prove you spent was $1,720, which is under the $1,800, and then you bring me an affidavit from your son saying, "Oh, my mother's," instead of from the mechanic. Look, you're the plaintiff when you come into court, and the plaintiff has the burden of proving the case. Barely worth losing a friend. Verdict for the defendant.
The plaintiff right here. What did you expect the judge to do?
Well, I expect the judge to at least give me back the money that I paid for the car and have him do the work.
You
and
have
then give him
to
the car
present
back.
a case.
Well, that's what I call myself doing, is presenting the case. And I had to pay the money to get the car. I couldn't get it to pass marks.
What kind of a fakakta deal did you two have together?
It was just kind of wild and crazy. We just kind of, Alan's a mechanic. He had a nice car. I wanted it. He said,
Wild
I'll
and
fix
crazy.
it.
So you bring your wild and crazy deal in here, and who's supposed to fit? Who's supposed to straighten it out?
I brought my evidence. She didn't see it that way.
Yeah. All right. Mm-hmm. So how would you describe this deal you two had?
I understand what she's saying. I understand.
What you say?
I didn't expect it to be that much money, though. So.
What is it that you understand that the rest of us don't understand?
Well, she said she had to pay more to get it fixed by somebody else, so. It happens. I ain't gonna break up no heck of a friendship behind it.
Right. All right, Harvey?
Okay, now, first of all, what this gentleman said, that any used car you buy, any used car, I don't care if it's 6 months old, get it checked out by a mechanic. What we found on the People's Court is a lot of people won't do it because mechanics charge money in order to do that you have to pay $100, $200, and people don't want to do it, especially if they're not sure they're going to end up buying the car. They feel like they're throwing money away. Here's what you do. You can make a deal with the seller, and here's what you say. I really am interested in buying the car. I will have it checked out. But if I end up buying it, you have to split the cost for the mechanic, or even you pay for the mechanic if I buy the car. That's a way of softening the blow.